some companies may have left some of these canines behind. There's a significant cost, a significant amount of time and effort that goes into this that AMK9 is willing to take on to take care of these heroes. They are a critical part of what we do every day around the world, and this is the way we take care of them.
The task of moving 92 contract working dogs stationed in the Middle East over 7,000 miles to the United States was unprecedented. But AMK9 was committed to bringing our canine heroes home safe and sound.
A lot of them are coming back to be adopted, to go to homes where they'll spend the rest of their days enjoying life. And that's a good thing. So there's a lot of pride that goes into it.
I made a conscious decision to come to this company based on the work that we do. It's rewarding and exciting for me to come into work every day and be a part of not only keeping people safe, but a lot of people want to do something that makes a difference in the world, and we get to do that.
The sheer logistics of the planning, manpower, and organization that went into this mission is staggering. Paul Hammond, the VP of Canine Services for AMK9 and AMK9 Academy, discusses the challenges and rewards of this operation.
When you move through multiple countries, when you move through many customs departments, veterinary checks, health checks along that journey, transit delays, flight delays are something you fear when you've got live animals in transit. And one of the highlights for me is the research that went behind the veterinarians along the route. We planned it and coincided it with veterinary clinics along the way, ensuring that they had the capabilities to deal with anything amongst the 92 dogs that we had, ensuring that canine welfare is the most important thing. That's the success behind this story.
After all the dogs were carefully unloaded, fed, watered, and checked for medical issues, they began the final leg of their journey home. Multiple vehicles transported the dogs the 955 miles from New York to Anniston, Alabama, where these veteran canines would ultimately be reassigned to a new job or adopted out to loving families.
This morning at about 06:30 Eastern, we started our trip back to Anniston, Alabama. Getting out of the city with 5 oversized trucks is not an easy task. I think we spent 2 hours and many tolls just trying to get out of the city. And once we finally hit the open road, not counting the time we've stopped to break the dogs and refuel the trucks, we've invested 15 hours of drive time so far. It's 9 o'clock at night here in this truck, and we've still got about 300 miles to go, so it's going to be a pretty late night for us. You can't describe what anybody does over there, and everyone's story is going to be a little bit different, and if the dogs could talk, their stories would be different. But at the end of the day, they're responsible for a large part of the camps and what we do over there. They're constantly protecting us.
The labor and the time that it takes to break the dogs alone, it takes hours and manpower. 4 dogs is a huge accomplishment, so when you move 92, it absolutely changes the entire scope.
It was a long drive for both the workers and the dogs, but every precaution was taken to ensure the safety and health of the dogs. Their well-being was a top priority. From the challenges of relieving so many dogs over a 2-day journey to unexpected medical care along the side of the road, AMK9 made provisions for all contingencies.
The movement is unbelievable and unheard of, but when you plan to every detail and the final part where you get these dogs back at the academy and the staff have rallied together and everybody knows their place and their spot, from the initial braking crews because they've just finished the last stage amongst the route, from bringing those dogs in trailer load and signing them off and medical checks and allocating them to the kennels and ensuring that food and water and so on. 92 dogs coming at the end of this academy. I just think it was a success from start to finish.
38 of the 92 working dogs were ready to transition into retired life. Finding the right home for these veteran canines was key. AMK9 turned to Piper's Rescue, a well-established rescue pet adoption program in Anniston. Zora, one of the retirees, is being flown out to her new adopted family in Wyoming. Sarah Hare is taking her to the vet to get her health certificate so she can be cleared for her trip.
When these new retiree dogs came in, we were learning about them and learning about their history. We did research on medically what their history has been and what they used to do when they worked in Afghanistan, which helps us understand a little bit more about them. But it feels really good to see the slow process of them transforming from working dog to family pet, and from them realizing that they don't have to go every day. They don't have to work and save people's lives. They can just be loving and they can just be spoiled and have these people love on them for the rest of their lives. Well, we brought Mrs. Zora here in for just a quick checkup and to get her health certificate, so she's ready to fly tomorrow to head to Wyoming. And we just want to make sure that everything's 100% A-OK before she heads to her new home. Good girl. Tell him that you've got this flight to Wyoming. You flew back from Afghanistan. You're fine.
Not all contract working dogs go directly into adoption programs. The dogs who are still active and healthy are reassigned to new jobs. Terry Daniel, an Army veteran, is a sergeant with the Chambers County Police Department. Terry submitted a proposal to his local sheriff about acquiring a dog specializing in narcotics detection and tracking, and was matched up with Otos through AMK9. In addition to his new job assignment, Otos has a new family, including Terry's wife Claudia, and their other dogs, Gator and Coco.
I love him to death already. I know they tell us not to get attached to him, but I am. AMK9's been great. I can't speak enough for the entire AMK9 staff for giving us the opportunity to come up here and get a dog like Otos. If you're coming in and you've never handled a dog before, I would recommend starting off with a dog that is experienced, because it will help you learn faster and grow a little bit faster. He's learning from me just like I'm learning from him, and it's great to be able to build that relationship and being able to bring him into the family, and knowing that, while I was deployed, what my family went through, and, knowing that he's been deployed to the same area. And it's helping build that relationship, that working relationship, and I think that we kind of understand each other coming from that history that we have with both being active duty military and being able to come back home and still being able to work with each other.
Good boy, good boy, good boy. Good job. Yes, sir, good boy, good boy, good boy. That's a good search, wasn't it? Yes, sir.
With soldiers, you can walk up to them, you can shake their hand, you can show them that you appreciate them, you can give them a hug. There's all sorts of emotion. And with dogs, you don't get to do that. They're constantly showing you how they feel about you because you're working with them every day. They're loyal. And when you get to bring a hero home and there isn't a reciprocating party and there's just people who want to adopt it, I think it's a great thing that we're willing to do that. We're willing to bring them home and show them their appreciation by giving them good homes.
Kyle Cruz works as a paramedic. He was looking to adopt a dog who was lovable, well-trained, and would fit his busy lifestyle. With the help of his girlfriend Rebecca and plenty of research, Kyle found Draco through Piper's Rescue. Kyle got to meet several other working dogs, but when he met Draco, the two had an instant connection.
Good boy.
We set up an appointment to go and meet, and they brought both the dogs out. They brought out Tex first, and then they brought out Draco, and he just had this look about him. I mean, he just so fluffy, and just knew that this guy was the right guy, and brought him home, and he's been living life and enjoying it. I put a lot of emphasis on soldiers and how important their job is, and this guy, he's no less of a soldier, no less of a hero than what they are. When I come home after a rough shift, if we've had the misfortune of seeing bad stuff, I know he respects that, and it's good therapy for me. He calms me down and, you know, makes life easier for me. And even though he's retired now, he still gets to help me and, you know, in ways that he'll never understand. But it's just what he's been doing his whole life by helping people.
Draco, Otos, and Zora are only 3 of the many examples of how AMK9 proves their commitment to ensuring the continued welfare of all the canine heroes who worked so diligently to provide safety and security to those working around the world.
Good boy, good boy, good boy. I'm retired, but I still got it. We don't look for bad stuff anymore. We just look for bacon.